So, welcome to our live Yoga Biz coaching session today. I'm Leah, if I haven't met you already, hello. I run Start Your Yoga Biz. I'm going to wait a couple of minutes for anyone who wants to join us live. Today I'm going to be talking about how to find more clients and grow your contact list. So, within the Facebook community group that I run, it tends to be a reoccurring situation that pops up. So there are some questions you answer when you come in and join our group. And almost everybody, when I say, you know, what do you find hardest about your yoga business and building your yoga business, what do you find the hardest part? Everyone says finding clients. And I think as a business owner, especially in the health and wellness industry, you can never have too many contacts, can you? Too many clients, because even if you don't run group classes, maybe you run workshops or retreats or private one-to-one classes, you're always going to have, a time, a point in your year or in your business span where you kind of get a rotation of clients. You need to make sure that you have people there so that if you need to fill slots, you have people that can slide into those slots nice and easily. So as you are joining, please do feel free to say hello, give me a wave, and as always, feel free to comment as we go and I'll answer any questions as we go. So just again, if anyone that's joining, hello, good afternoon. I'm Leah, I run Start Your Yoga Biz, and today I'm going to be sharing a few do's and don'ts when it comes to building your contact list and finding yourself more clients, okay? Now, when I was kind of planning this out yesterday and where I wanted to go with this, it did occur to me that everything I'm going to share with you now, you probably already know. Let me rephrase that. You probably already know it, but maybe you're just not implementing it, okay? There's going to be something that you know isn't working in your method, your strategy at the moment, or something that isn't working sufficiently enough. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be watching this video. If you felt really comfortable with the way that you are growing your database of clients, then that whole if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of mentality might have kicked in and you might not really feel that interested in watching something like this. So what I want you to think about is not only different methods of growing your client base, but also being open to change, open to learning new methods, open to adaptations of your business, and open to implementing it, taking action on it, because what's the point of learning something without taking any action on it, okay? So I can see a few new people have joined us. Hi guys, good afternoon. So I've just basically said that what I'm about to tell you, some of these things you probably already know, you just might not be implementing them, or you might not really be sure how to make the change, how to stop something, how to adjust it slightly. So hopefully today this will give you a little bit of a kick in the tushy to take action with your actions. All right, so I'm going to start off with the don'ts, things that I would really recommend that you don't do, things that aren't necessarily going to really grow your contact list that you might already be doing. There's things that I see, fellow teachers doing, other teachers doing, when I've had contact with people on a one-to-one basis, those of you who email me or send me a direct message and you let me know kind of your strategy for onboarding clients, these are things that tend to really stick out to me, all right? So I've got 3 don'ts for your training today. So what I would say with regards to social media, don't do not boost your posts, okay? Facebook is sneaky. Sometimes you have a post that is performing really well because people are interacting on it, and Facebook will then tell you, hey, this is doing really well, why don't you boost it and put it in front of other people? It's no good, because it's kind of just, it's like throwing postcards all over the place, okay? You could put your name and number on a load of postcards and throw them out the window, and that would get in front of a lot of people, so your name would be there, but then people would be like, well, I don't know what to do with this. So a follow on Facebook, on your Facebook page, is not necessarily going to gain you a client, okay? It's just a massive waste of money. So don't let Facebook be sly and tell you that you need to boost a post. Also, in that same category, do not use paid social media ads unless you have a strategy for it and you've had some kind of training, okay? A lot of the time we just kind of run little social media ads. I know they'll boost both to Facebook and Instagram, and it's not sending anyone anywhere. So when you're running social media ads, you want to make sure that you've got your copy, your wording really strong, you've got a good opt-in freebie, and then it connects to your landing page. You don't want to be sending people to your profile or to your website, okay? So please don't use paid social media ads unless you feel really confident in your strategy and you've kind of had some training on it, because they're quite complex. Like it's quite a lot to take in. And it changes all the time. I've just done a little training on it myself. Third thing I would say, please do not overshare your website and just written class details on your social media, specifically Facebook. So with Facebook, you know, using your personal profile or even sometimes the business page, it's not really too connective for your audience that you have there already, and especially in Facebook groups. Don't go into a Facebook group. Maybe you are in a group for local business owners or just your local area, and don't just write out all the details of your class and post it. It's a nothing. It's one of those things, again, like you could just throw those postcards out the window. You don't know who's looked at it. A strong possibility you'll just get loads of people comment on it or say, yeah, I'm interested to know more, and then you end up wasting your time, putting a load of energy into it, replying to people, and out of 20 people, maybe you're going to get one person show a slight interest and visit your website, okay? So don't overshare your website and your class details and just post them willy-nilly, what a funny saying, all over the place for just anyone to see, okay? And we're going to get to that a little bit when I come into my do's, all right? So just to recap, don't boost your Facebook posts, don't use paid social media ads unless you have a strategy for it and a structure and you've had training on it so you really understand how it works. Otherwise it's just a massive waste of money. And don't overshare random details of your website and just boring written text on your classes and post them all over Facebook, okay? If anything, it's a little bit of a turn off, I'd say. It can look a little bit, hopefully this won't trigger anyone, but it looks a little bit of a beggy thing, you know, please come to my class, just post in your details, okay? So try and avoid those three things. So let's move on to your do's. So do's for definitely helping you to build your mailing list and attract more clients. First thing to think about is make yourself visible. If people can't see you, if you can't be seen, then no one is going to know that you are there. Okay, so specifically think about the internet. Okay, we are going to touch on a few things as well that are offline, but your online advertising. Hi everyone that's joining us. I'll just give you a little wave. Oh, I can wave back. Okay, so if you have a website, and you should have a website, if you haven't got one, get yourself one built. Register for Google Business, okay? Get your website on Google Business, because then when people start to search yoga teacher in your area or yoga class in your area, you will come up in their Google search, okay? If you run yoga in Hackney, London, and someone types in yoga class Hackney and you don't come up, that person is never going to ever know that you exist, and they're going to just find the teacher that is closest to them. So you want to make sure you're ranking within your top 3 or 5 search options in Google. So in fact, you can go into Google, you can Google your own name, or you can Google your yoga brand name and see if you come up. If not, make sure you are registered for Google Business, and I will do another live session on some places you can advertise for free that will help to boost that SEO as well, your search engine optimized marketing, okay? So do make sure that you register for Google Business. If you're not, you're missing out on a whole bunch of little clicks as people find you. Secondly, know who you are speaking to. You know, this comes up in every single training. Know who your target audience are, know who you're speaking to. Otherwise, how do you know where to advertise? You know, if you have a really broad spectrum of clients, then you're going to have to kind of advertise everywhere. If you know exactly who you want in your classes, who your audience are, then you'll know exactly where to direct your marketing, okay? And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as we start to move through this session. So make sure when you're using social media that you mix it up a little bit between posts that might link to your website. So if you're just advertising yourself generally and you want to share your website and share everything that you have on your website, make those posts quite sporadic, okay? Websites, as we've spoken about before, unless you're really into the whole tech thing, you can't really track and trace who has been on your website. So you want to be directing people more towards a landing page, an opt-in page. So somewhere that you can gather their details, take their email address and maybe have it connected to your digital mailing platform, okay? So if you don't have a digital mailing list, I'd really recommend that you get one so you can create a landing page, and then rather than say to people, here's my website, here's my website and everything that I do, my classes, my workshops, etc. You can say, why don't you share your details with me? Give me your email address in return for a little opt-in freebie. Maybe I'll give you a free meditation or a 10% off your class or a free yoga flow video. You then have their contact details and then you are in charge of the marketing. So you can contact them whenever you have something that you want to share with them, okay? So rather than sharing the details of your website, which you can do sporadically every now and then just so people can have a little stalk and read through your blog and read about you and everything that you do, make sure that you're sharing your landing page, okay? Hi guys, I'm gonna have a few waves here, this makes me excited. Okay, so when you have collected those email details and you are, connecting with your clients, this allows you to be able to sell away from social media, okay? So every yoga teacher who's on social media will be telling everyone who's following them about their classes, okay? So you need to make sure if you want to get in front of that person that you step away from the noise, all right? I've spoken about it several times before. So once you have, a more direct contact approach with that person, ideally their email address, you don't have to shout above everyone else on Instagram and Facebook. You can then send them emails directly and let them know everything that you have to offer, okay? So, sticking with our social media theme, if you are using Facebook groups, and I really rate Facebook groups actually for contact sign-ups and for collecting new contacts, make sure that those groups are niche specific. Okay, so you're going to have some in your area which are just random groups for your area. And they can be good, they can be useful if you know that a lot of your target audience will be hanging out there. But also look at what you want to offer and will those people be in those groups, okay? So for example, I think you tend to find, I don't know, I think I'm getting old now, someone can correct me if you're much younger than me, millennial age, I'd say like 25 or 28 and under, probably not hanging out too much in Facebook groups. But if you teach pregnancy yoga or mum and baby yoga, you find loads of Facebook groups for new mums. You might be more likely to find people in Facebook groups who would be interested in yoga for seniors. So really thinking about the niche that you are teaching, the target audience that you are teaching, and will they be hanging out in those Facebook groups, okay? Remember, when you're posting in Facebook groups, you're not sharing your website, you're not just telling people, I have this class. You can say, I'm teaching yoga in the park at 9 o'clock on Saturday. If you would like to be informed of all the details, leave your email address here and I will contact you. So if you leave your landing page there, you then gather those details and you can contact them directly. Hope that makes sense. You can give me a thumbs up or write a comment if you want to at any point and I will answer as we go. Yeah, so just do make sure that if you're using Facebook groups, that you're not wasting your time sending it out to every single person, because you can meet thousands of people in these groups, and I don't know about you, but I just scroll through it, or I might search what I want to find and see if there's anything around. So don't just waste your time posting to everything. Really think about, who do I want in my class? Will they be hanging out in a Facebook group? And will they be willing to share their email address with me? So get your landing page in there, not your website. Just checking down at my notes because I feel like I'm starting to ramble. Don't want to miss anything. So if you are using social media, use social media to direct people again towards your email list, okay? You don't want to be selling on social media. It's great when someone sends you a direct message, but I always say straight away, can I take your email address? Or here's my email address, let's speak over email. You know, just take it away from social media, away from it being social. You know, remember that this is your business, and while it's great to connect with people there, when it comes to the sale, which is what we're doing when we are selling our yoga offering, you really want to move away from social media. Now, use your posts, use your stories, use whatever you are doing on social media to direct people towards your landing page. So as you can see here, the theme is get yourself a landing page, an opt-in page, okay? So that'll be connected to your digital mailing platform, such as MailChimp or Aweber, whatever you use, GetResponse. There are loads of different ones. I use MailChimp myself. Yeah, play around with those, see what one works for you, and set yourself up a landing page. A landing page is connected to your email list, so whenever anyone signs up for it, the address, their email address, their contact details go straight into your email list, and that way you can start to contact them at a regular interval. So when you are directing people towards your landing page, you can also put the link in your bio text. So you know you have a little link you can put in on Instagram and Facebook, rather than put your website there, because again, someone can click on your website and they can just scroll through, that's great. If it is your goal at the moment to build your contact list, then build yourself a opt-in freebie. So give someone something for free in exchange for their email address, and get that landing page link as the link in your bio. And then you can constantly, with every single post, every time you post a story, anything you're doing, say, oh, you can get this for free up here, or, you know, leave your details and you get this free meditation, or you get this free yin class, or whatever it is that you are offering, okay? Just make sure you're always directing people to your mailing list. I'm doing this because I know that if I go up, this is where my bio would be if I was on Instagram stories. All right, so where are we? I'm looking at my list because I don't want to forget anything. Last little thing I'm going to talk about with regards to social media is use your Facebook page wisely. If you are using a group to host all of your contacts in as well, you can schedule your posts, okay? So maybe you have people on your Facebook page or in your Facebook group that aren't necessarily on your contact list. So on a regular basis, you want to be inviting people to sign up so that they become, you know, the first to know about updates, and they get your freebies. So then basically you can just slide in there and sell your course, your workshop, your retreat to them whenever you want to. So make sure that regularly you are sharing your landing page, and you can do that by scheduling. So personally, I like to sit down at the end of the month and then think, right, what have I got going on this month? When will I kind of want people to be more active on my mailing list? And hello guys, I'm going to wave back to you all. Nice to see you. And then I will schedule in for specific points throughout the month, ads that are going to go up on my page or into my group, to let people know, oh, you can sign up here if you want to be the first to know, and if you want this freebie. Okay, so you haven't got to think to yourself, you haven't got to write a reminder in your phone, oh, like, you know, make sure you're gathering more details. Get that on a regular basis. Maybe it's something that you do for people every 2 weeks. On a Sunday morning, it pops up, they're laying in bed having a coffee at 8 o'clock, and it comes up as their a post on your Facebook page. If you'd like to know about classes that are coming up in the future, you can leave your details here, or I'd love to share this meditation with you, leave your details here for the link, you know, that kind of thing. So get it scheduled. If you just go to your status where you would go live, or you write a post, it gives you the option to schedule it. So then you haven't got to think too far I mean, you're thinking in advance, but you're not thinking on the spot, oh my God, I need to do that now for 6 weeks time to make sure I've got loads of people on my list. Just make that a regular occurrence, okay? Okay, I've got 2 more points we're going to make now. So second to last one is think outside of the box. I've just mentioned it. Everybody is on social media. Now, you know who your niche are, your target audience are. You need to understand where they're going to be, what they're going to be doing, and what they are paying attention to. So as I touched on earlier, if you are maybe creating classes or workshops for seniors, you might find them in Facebook groups. If you are, I mean, now even I'm starting to get my head around TikTok and Reels and all this kind of stuff. If you're creating classes or packages for younger people, maybe under 25s, you need to start looking out, you know, even moving away from Instagram, looking at TikTok, looking more at Snapchat. If you are doing corporate yoga, are you using LinkedIn? Okay, LinkedIn is the place to be for corporate yoga if you want to reach out to corporations, right, to businesses. But also start to think about offline, what local publications, printed text, you know, back in the old days when we used to read newspapers and books and stuff, you know, everyone's online, everyone's on social media. Is there somewhere else that you can go and advertise what you're doing? But again, not just selling your class, but telling people about what you do. So thinking about church magazines, if you live local in a small town or a small village, community newsletters or small local newspapers and magazines. So if you think that the age range and, you know, the type of client that you would be aiming to bring into your class might be reading one of these publications, and you need to be there and you need to be in front of them, because if, you know, a lady that you might want in your class has connected with you on a Facebook group and she's given her email address to your landing page and she's receiving emails from you regularly and she likes your posts on Facebook because she's found your Facebook business page as well, and then suddenly she gets a local newspaper through the door and there's a small article in there all about the benefits of yoga that you have written, she is then thinking, okay, I know this girl, I know this lady, she's good, I'm going to go to this class, okay? So thinking about that kind of double whammy, is there any local publication that you can reach out to, maybe even local radio, just moving a little bit away from the online madness, especially if you teach something that's not necessarily quite niche, you know. I always talk about it. That is me. I'm a very basic vinyasa flow kind of teacher, but I think I have quite a specific way of teaching, of speaking with my students. I write that same way when I blog, when I send my emails out, and any publications that I write, so I write for a few local magazines as well, I write in the same way so that if people are connected with me online, my offline advertising is the same, and when you meet me in person also, I'm the same, okay? So thinking a little bit outside of the box, like where could you go, where could you write, where could you grab hold of attention that's offline, where you might kind of appeal to the same people. Hope that makes sense. Feel free to send a odd face emoji if that doesn't make sense. All right, lastly, one of the biggest points here is to be consistent. Be consistent with trying to grow your database, okay? So there are 168 hours in a week. You can find 1 hour a week in your schedule where you sit down uninterrupted and you work on building your database, okay? So whether that is creating a really good social media post, whether that is taking time, maybe you know you can post on a Monday in your local Facebook group, so you take 15 or 20 minutes to post there and share your landing page. Maybe it's an hour to create a blog post or a short video that you can share on your social media. I'm worried that my Instagram is going to die. That you can share on your social media and then direct people to your mailing list. You know, taking that time, get it into your schedule. So all the other little things that you do within your business, which might include other administration tasks, you know, your accounting, your finances, your budgets, putting together your marketing strategies, lesson plans, putting together your playlists, making sure that building your contact list has to be in there. Okay, so think about scheduling in an hour or 2 half-an-hour sessions every single week. Write it into your diary, uninterrupted time where you're going to sit down and go, right, what can I do? Yeah. And taking into consideration what I just said there about offline as well, can you reach out, you know, take that time to email and reach out to other local businesses where you might be able to write a publication for them or advertise within their business. So thinking outside the box, but being consistent with it, okay? Taking that time every single week to grow your contact list. I hope that makes sense. All right, so I'm going to start to round it up now. If you have any questions, do feel free to send me a direct message if you don't want to write here while we're live, but I don't mind if you do. So I hope that was helpful. I'm going to leave this live in the Facebook community and also on IGTV, and I do upload them to YouTube as well, although I forgot to save it last week and did not do that, so don't look for last week's one, but this one will be there probably by the mid of next week. So have yourself a really nice afternoon. Do be consistent with growing your contact list and take action, okay? Take action now. If it's all fresh in your mind, everything I've just said to you, sit down, make a little plan, take some notes and think about what can you do? What can you take action on today or within the next week? Get it into your schedule. All right, guys? All right, so I really hope that was helpful. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm going to send a few waves back to everyone that's watching on Instagram. And have yourself a really nice afternoon. Namaste.